Hell yeah. So, this is episode 1. Are y'all ready?
Let's pop that fucking cherry, Chief.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I'm Matt Holden, of course. Go ahead.
I'm Matt Minky.
Mike Ritlin.
Yeah, the famous Mike Ritlin.
Infamous.
So we're past 30 seconds, so we can say fuck, shit, damn, and all that now.
I already did that, huh?
Yeah. I got a clip for you guys. It'll be about a minute and a half in on what Mike does. Okay. So, shit, I should have pulled my show notes up. You can tell this is my first one.
It's your first rodeo?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So, Mike, we're doing episode number 1 of Uninfluenced. It wasn't a question. Y'all can talk. Matt, why are you sitting over there like we're in church? No. So, basically, what we're putting this show together about is to basically talk about whatever the fuck we want. It's going to be about cars. It's going to be about everyday things going on in the news that we want to talk about. Not, dildo sales or anything like that.
What if we want to talk about?
Oh, we can look up dildo sales.
All right.
I'm more of a battery guy because I invest in the battery side of things. So more of the Bob's, the battery operated boyfriend side.
So I already had that pulled up. I'll delete it.
Yeah, we can use that. Magic wands.
What about the rabbit?
The rabbit's pretty good too.
Every lady's best friend.
My wife thought I was a magician when I pulled that rabbit out the first time. Just popped that bitch out. So today we're going to talk about a couple things. The new McLaren 765. Matt wants to talk about that for sure. That thing's got some amazing specs on it. You all know that. And then I want to talk to y'all. Today we do have a sponsor for the first time, which was pretty exciting. Came in last minute. It's a company called Your Mom. Because without us and her, there is no you. So I do want to talk about the Caitlyn Jenner and Joe Rogan thing. Have y'all read up on that?
I mean, I've heard a little bit about it. It's kind of surprising to me that they're even running into that. Frankly, like I don't know how was that not hammered out prior to signing Joe Rogan? Like, that some of the episodes that he's done in the past. I mean, it's not like it's a secret. So I don't know where. The drama of some of the, at least what I heard was that, some of the Spotify employees are talking about quitting if there are certain edits not made or certain episodes not being, pulled or whatever. And it's like, again, they signed the guy. I'm sure there was a team of lawyers that went through a ton of shit on both sides. So how is this now just coming up and becoming a problem?
Yeah, I mean, it goes into the simple fact, Joe Rogan's known to be unfiltered. I mean, he comes in, he says what he wants. I see a lot of his stuff to where he talks on the line. He sees both sides of everything. Yeah, he gives his opinion, but for the most part, he's walks the line and sees both sides, keeps an open mind, which is pretty badass in my opinion. Because to me, I'm confused by the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing in general. I mean, you have a gold medalist who went out and they had a sex change, and they started dating another dude that had a sex change. So you basically had a sex change to become a lesbian. I'm just totally confused by that. I mean, I'm a lesbian already. I don't need to get my parts cut off to tell you guys, hey, I'm full-blown lesbian. Yeah. I don't judge anybody by their decisions, and I don't judge anybody by their opinions. Joe Rogan, he's a comedian. He's going to say some silly shit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, to your point on not judging anybody, like, yeah, everybody just do you and not worry about everybody else. But I think that's part of the problem is that, everybody is all for free speech until it's some shit that they disagree with, and, Joe has his opinion. The employees are entitled to their opinion. To me, where the problem is when you start demanding that other people are either banned or removed because they disagree with what you think or what you believe, what you're saying and whatever, and again, I just, Caitlyn Jenner, hey, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, I don't care. It's none of my business. And, I don't know why so many people seem to make it their business one way or the other. Like, I think, we live in a country with a bunch of nosy motherfuckers that, if they just minded their own fucking business, I think everybody would be far better off. But,
well, at the end of the day, I mean, it's one of those things. What's it affecting you? A guy goes to the doctor, gets his penis cut off. What's that affect you? A guy kisses another guy. How does that affect you? It don't affect me in any kind of way. Live your life. A woman kisses a woman. I would tell you 90% of men out there right now who see a woman kissing a woman ain't like freaking gays.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah girl, get it.
I mean, that's what
got my attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of society. I mean, there's double standards all over the place. But do you know what it was that he said, or like what the big controversy is that they're pissed about?
So I looked it up, and I could be off on the timeline. I want to say it was about a year and a half ago. He was talking to a guest about a comedy show and how he has 3 daughters and what it's like to live in a home with 4 women with his wife. And he said the best he could describe it is he has a pyramid of marbles. And he said for him, losing his manhood is them girls coming in there every day, yanking a couple marbles off. Daddy, your stack of marbles is bigger than mine. So they do this every day. They yank them down. And as the story goes on, he basically said, could you imagine being Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner living with those crazy bitches that he lives with? His stack of marbles must have went away quick.
And that's what they're pissed about?
Yeah. And
that's fucking dumb.
Caitlyn Jenner comes out, he's homophobic and gets into all this other nonsense. And it's like, honestly, who cares? Are you doing it for more attention because y'all's show sucks and your stepdaughter hasn't done any porn lately?
Yeah, I mean, again, to me, it's just a matter of everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? So, I saw today, like The Rock came out and endorsed Joe Biden, right? And there's a lot of people fucking trash talking him for it. But then there's other people like, oh, what? So he's not entitled to his opinion. Like, yeah, he is, but so are other people that don't like his opinion. You know, like it goes all the way around. Like, and I just, to me, like, I don't understand why so many people can't just leave an opinion alone. Like, think whatever you want to think.
It goes into the fact of, I was talking to a kid the other day and he's like, this is my first time to vote. I don't think I'm going to vote. And it's like, okay, dude, part of being an adult is you have to vote. Or for the next 4 years that you didn't vote, shut the fuck up. Yeah. If you don't like what's going on with the politics or what, I don't care if you go write your dog's name in the ballot box. At least you went down and you voted for somebody. You don't have to like both people running at all.
Yeah.
But you can't bitch for 4 years.
Well, yeah, and so on that, right? A lot of times people say, well, it's one or the other, like it's a 2-party system. That's what we're dealt. And that's their justification for voting for one guy is because they don't want the other guy to win. And to me, this year has proved that theory to be bullshit. And some people may think that this is a reach, but bear with me for a second, is that if you think, say, 9 months ago, right, at the beginning of the year, if you would have told any of us, fucking anybody for that matter, that every single fucking swinging dick in America would be, when they're outside of the house, would have a fucking mask on their face, you'd have been like, bullshit. There is no way you're going to get the entire country to do that, right? Mm-hmm. But look what's happening. Yeah. So for everybody out there that says, my vote doesn't count if I don't vote for one of these 2 guys, like that is proof positive that if you can get every motherfucker to wear a mask, that you can get people to vote whoever they think should be best if everybody would just do that. So to me, it's like, on that same vein, is like, if you don't like Trump, you don't have to vote for Biden because you don't like that guy. Like, vote for whoever the fuck you think is going to do the best job, not somebody who's going to keep somebody that you don't like out of it. Like, to me, that's the single biggest, voting issue, I think, in existence right now is people that take that mentality, and it's a sheep mentality where everybody feels and thinks that way, and that's why we're in the fucking shit sandwich that we're in.
Exactly. And I was going to look this up. I should have done it earlier. Write-in candidates, has any of them ever won? Matter of fact, there was a senator in South Carolina that won with 63% write-in votes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this dude didn't even really want to do the job. It don't sound like he got it and served 48 years.
Yeah. But even with that, like, that's how things change, though. Like for somebody to say, well, it's never been done before. The entire country hasn't worn fucking masks before either, but here we are doing it, know? So it's possible. You just got to fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, politics is crazy. I mean, I'm not going to hate anybody for how they vote. Like you said, we all get our choice. We all get to go out there and do things. That's the beauty of America. Hell, that's what you went and fought for, is so people that are too lazy to go fight get to vote. They get to pick who runs this country. They get to pick who was telling our military what to do. And it's crazy. I think the whole mentality of the way these generations are getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and we've all seen it, it's because when the kids started playing football and it's, hey, you didn't win. Nobody scored touchdowns today. No, I've seen like 6 touchdowns scored. Well, no, everybody participated, so here's your participation award. Fuck that. There's losers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, saying that everybody wins is also saying that everybody loses.
Yeah.
Nobody winning, means that everybody fucking loses, and that's a shitty defeatist mentality. It's socialism for sports, basically.
Exactly.
Where people stop giving a fuck, but the thing is that you can take, a playground, say fucking kickball, and, there's, even if the coach or the gym teacher and all of the recess aides or whatever, like take a 3rd grade classroom playing that shit, is that even if they're not keeping score and they say don't do it, you better fucking believe those kids are keeping score.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to talk shit as soon as everybody goes back inside or whatever, motherfucker, we won or whatever. Like, it's human nature to be competitive, and when you try to stunt that and stifle that in young kids, it doesn't work from a big picture standpoint, but I think more importantly is that it creates a generation of entitled dipshits that think that they're owed everything, and that an equal outcome is just the way it works, and that's not how this country was started, or really the premise with which it should be lived in, and that everybody should have an equal opportunity. But equal outcome, fuck no, Yeah. I mean, that is socialism, Everybody ought to have the same shot to be able to be successful and do whatever they do. And I think it's bordering on impossible at this point to argue that that's not the case. I mean, for people to be able to be born somewhere else, move here, and ultimately, start businesses, be successful multimillionaires, tells you that anybody can do anything if they just fucking work for it. In that, again, going under that equal outcome fucking principle is that, it just ruins the drive for a lot of people to want to do something, because there isn't an incentive. It disincentivizes people to work hard if you're not getting anything out of it. No different than raising taxes to fucking 80% like some people want to do. Mm-hmm. Like rich people didn't get rich by being, oh, okay, I guess I'll just do that. Like they're going to move shit to China or have offshore accounts and wherever the fuck they're, find loopholes or move. Like they're not just going to pay that, and
exactly.
So it's frustrating to see our entire country just from a generational standpoint go down that path.
Oh yeah, it's getting out of hand, And my daughter, when she turned 21, I took her gambling and I put $20 in a machine, and she got up $200. And I said, keep playing. At the end, she wiped out all the money, and she said, why the hell did you do that? And I said, because you got to learn you're not always going to win. Just because you won the first time you put money in, you got to learn to lose.
Yeah.
If you're not ever used to losing, the first time you lose, it's going to devastate you. You're just going to be sitting here. My dad fucking lied to me all my life. I'm a fucking winner. No, you little fucker, you're a loser.
Yeah. Well, that and casinos aren't nice because most people win most of the time.
Well, they didn't build them big bitches by everybody winning.
Yeah.
It's
I know it.
Yeah, it's not loans, government loans and everything coming out. Here you go. You're rich as fuck now.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the harder working side of things, something I talked to you about this morning, I messaged you, and I messaged you too. Is success based off, just giving up? No, I mean, it's dedication. It's knowing what you're doing. You gotta, I've failed. I'm sure you failed before.
A fucking bunch of times. I've failed today.
Yeah. I I woke up as a failure. But you got to know how to fail in order to succeed. And I mean, there are those lucky fuckers who, you know, they're just lucky. I wouldn't say it's 100% luck, but they haven't failed.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you at some point in their life, they played a sport and they lost.
No, I mean, there's for sure some outliers and anomalies, but I mean, one of the unique things about selling, you know, protection dogs to high net worth folks over the last, you know, over a decade now is that I've been, you know, in a fortunate position to see similarities between, you know, different families and guys in all different types of industries with all different types of backgrounds. You know, some of them are immigrants, some of them are old money, some of them are, you know, came from nothing, and everything in between. And there's, you know, one common denominator with all of them, and that's that they never gave up, you know, and every one of them have been bankrupt or lost businesses or went through a shitty divorce, you know, or had a couple of down years where they were scraping to get by and putting fucking expenses on credit cards and moving money around, borrowing money from friends and family members and sleeping on dudes' couches and whatever. And that's the one thing. Every single one of them, you know, no matter what shit sandwich they were handed, they just never gave up, you know. I mean, perseverance to me is what makes successful people successful. You know, there's a lot of talented, lazy fuckers out there that never do shit with their life because they just don't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
And on the transverse, like there's some pretty average motherfuckers that are really successful because they work their ass off.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, and I'll find it for one of the episodes, but I read a story on a guy. He was a billionaire, and someone asked him, "How did you become a billionaire?" He said, "Well, I met 5 people that were smarter than me. I hired those 5 people to make me a lot of money." He said, and those 5 people made me rich. How'd those 5 people get rich? They found 5 more people that were smarter than them. He said, it's the original pyramid scheme, except we're a legal corporation doing it.
Yeah.
He said, we're not going and finding just a bunch of dumbasses to help us get rich, you know? So it's like,
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
fucking genius, you know? I got to quit hanging out with fucking idiots.
Well, what are we doing here then?
Right. Everybody else was busy.
All the smart fuckers I called wouldn't answer.
Yeah, because they're fucking smart.
Yeah.
So
Matt, what do you know? What you got going?
I was wanting to talk a little bit about that new McLaren, the 765 LT.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be quicker, lighter than the 720. They're saying.
Not faster than mine.
I mean, how much lighter is it going to be? Does it say?
That's what I'm looking up now. It says.
I haven't seen where it says that. I know.
I want to say it's almost 280 pounds or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, 280 pounds lighter with, another 40-ish horsepower? Like, that's going to make that big a difference? I mean, 280 is significant. Is there better aero with it?
Well, I mean, that's like me going and getting in your car and you're running a 10-second quarter mile. My fat ass jumps in there and you run a 10.5. You know, I mean, kind of the same thing. I'm not seeing the weight, but
I don't see the weight.
I don't think they're publishing the weight because the weight isn't certain. It's if you let them spec it and you spec it their way, you save all this weight. But if you go in like you can with every McLaren, you know, no McLaren's 100% identical. If you go in and order one, well, yours is now 10 pounds heavier than Bob's, you know, and
So, I mean, to me, I would think they'd at least have like a range, you know, but
yeah.
I mean, it'll be well south of 3,000 pounds though, right?
Yeah, they're saying the average of them's going to be anywhere from 29 to 3,000 because the average McLaren 720, I believe, is 3,200 pounds. So
yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at the difference between, say, a McLaren 720 and a 911 or an R8, you know, that's about 300-pound difference, you know,
yeah.
and it's for sure fucking significant out on the road. But I also know their aero is so much better too. I mean, every single time you see most cars will get a jump on the 720 and then it just fucking walks right by it, you know, every single time. It's nuts.
That's what I love about mine, watching it go in any type of video where I get to see the back end and you start seeing it tucked down and get all kinds of crazy. It's like, just
gone.
The engineering,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, thing's a fucking spaceship.
And they say that, like, the McLaren 650 versus the 720, it's 91% different.
Really?
What kind of dork sat there and did that math to where he's like, you know what? this motherfucker's 91% different than the other one. It's
Well,
like,
the same fucking dork that figured out how to make it so goddamn fast.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just want to know what 9% is the fucking same. And
Yeah.
when are you going to change that, you lazy bastards? Probably the brain that keeps fucking up with all the electrical fires.
Yeah, no shit.
We just can't fix that fucking thing.
Were there? Did they have any like predicted specs in terms of they're anticipating it to do performance wise?
So let's see, 60 miles an hour, 2.7 seconds, and its top speed's 205.
I mean, so what's the 720's 0 to 60 published
It's
time?
supposed to be 3.2.
Really?
Yeah.
It's faster than that, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still need to get mine out. Well, I guess it's not fair to get mine out and do a draggy on it now.
Yeah.
I want to say, are you looking it up?
Yeah,
The stock
720
spec.
McLaren.
I know looking here at the MSRP, they're saying it's going to be the same price, cost in the same region as the Pista. But that's not correct because I watched Drag Times. He published his build. And I want to say his build was $10,000 cheaper on his 765 LT than his 720 was.
Well, that's way cheaper than a Pista then.
Yeah, and the reason is because he was able to go in there and delete,
Bullshit.
yeah, silly things that had if it had a zero cost, he went in and clicked the box. And then if it was some of the dumb carbon shit that he didn't want, or some of the silly shit, like air conditioning's free.
Yeah.
But that's part of the weight savings. If you don't want air conditioning in your 765, bitch, I drive my cars.
Yeah. Well,
Better put some air conditioning in there.
well, yeah. I
It's
mean,
hot
plus
here.
in Texas, if you're in Canada, yeah, I probably would skip it. But
That'd be a good skip. Then you could go date a fat girl.
yeah.
That's air conditioning weight.
What?
So-
Go ahead.
It says here the 720S and the 60 miles per hour is 2.9 seconds.
Is it 2.9? That's not.
But it says the top speed on that, it's 220.
So,
That seems weird. It's a lighter car with more horsepower, but it won't go as fast.
it won't go as fast, and you're talking only 2.2.
That seems fucking wrong.
I mean, something don't seem right there. And of course, we don't know because we haven't seen any true data testing, and McLaren's a bunch of assholes, and they don't publish true tests.
Yeah.
At all.
And again, you have the car that they built, and of course, they built 3 of them, and they're perfect specs of what would be a weight-reduced car.
Yeah.
Then you get people like us. Well, we don't live by the Autobahn. We don't live in perfect weather, so we want air conditioning.
Yeah.
We're not going to put straight race carbon fiber seats and everything. We're going to want some comfort. So you start adding weight, and then by the time you go put them on the scales, well, I got a 765 LT that weighs as much or more than a 720. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's not doing 2.7, it's now doing 2.9 and still won't go as fast as this guy who just bought a 720 cheaper than me.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
What? When is it actually fucking coming out?
They released in Europe, some of them picked up. I think ours is November, December. He's looking now.
That shit drives me nuts that they release everything like the 911, right?
Yeah.
The new 992 911's been out there for months. There still aren't any over here yet. Like, I don't get it.
It's like the deal the other day when I was telling you and I was telling Matt my TRX. Okay, here's your VIN number. Okay, when do you want me to put my car up for sale? As soon as we get a delivery date. How the fuck don't you know when you're going to bring me my car? You got a VIN number. Y'all don't know how long it takes to build this thing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Quit being an asshole. Give me
And
my
that's
car.
so that's the Ram Rebel TRX, right? It's going to have the Hellcat engine in it. Is it exactly like a Hellcat? Is there anything else different to it, or?
They changed. They said 60%, and of course it's the same thing. They don't tell you what 60% they changed, but they changed 60% of it. I know they did a deep sump pan, stuff like that, so you can go Baja and things like that.
I'm assuming that the gearing would be different, right? Like probably
yeah.
torquier down low for off-roading and shit.
Yeah, it's torquier down low. It's got Brembo. What the hell's it got? Not Brembo. Bilstein suspension. I'm looking right now at what its specs are. Of course, they're not listed. I think it's got a horrible 0 to 60s, like a 4.1, which isn't bad for a big ass Baja truck.
Yeah,
But
I
what's the Raptor doing?
The Raptor's 5.1 or 2, I think.
So, I mean, you drop a second, but if they come out with that Raptor with the Shelby engine in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that and at this point, like that 3.5 liter, I mean, when they switched from the 6.2 liter to the 3.5 liter, it opened up a lot of mods for, you can do quite a bit to a Raptor to get it down in that fucking range, no problem. I haven't done that with mine. I mean, for me, it's a work truck and it's fast enough. Like I don't need it to be fast, and I don't really want to fuck with, fucking with the warranty or potentially causing any problems, because all I use it for is pure utility, and I do use it off road a fair bit, and I've got a camper shell on it, and bringing dogs around and whatever. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to mess with it, but there are a lot of options, to me. I still think that TRX is gonna take a pretty significant dent out of the Raptor market share, I think. But
so it's 4.5 seconds.
Really?
0 to 60 in 12.9 quarter mile.
I don't know what the Raptor quarter mile is, but I think it's 5.1 or 5.2 for 0 to 60. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at barely over a half second. But price wise too, it's right in there with the Raptor, right? It's what, 70?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
yeah, I think mine spec, because I got the launch, was 87,000 or
So
something.
the base price is here 71,000.
God damn, yours was 87.
Yeah, I'm a bougie bitch, and I wanted the carbon and all that shit on there.
Carbon fiber windshield.
Yeah,
It's every upgrade.
I fucking need a carbon fiber fucking windshield. I shit you not, I've probably bought a windshield in every car I've ever owned, and I should probably knock on wood.
I can't believe the fucking price on a 720 windshield. Was it $1,800?
The 720, $7,000. My Audi RSQ8 was $1,800.
Dude, that is fucking absurd.
Unless you're the new owner of it listening to this a couple months from now, it's never had anything replaced on it.
Yeah.
So the Raptor 2020 is a 13.8 quarter mile and a 5.5.
Really, 5.5.
So basically you're talking a second,
Yeah.
all the way around.
But I mean, they're pretty comparably priced too. I mean, it sounds like the TRX, if you trick it out, it's a little more.
Yeah, it goes up.
The one thing about Raptor that, whatever it is, what it is, there's not a lot of fucking shit you can do to it. It kind of comes how it comes,
Yeah.
It's like.
It's minor shit, like the carbon fiber little
Yeah.
mismatch pieces, the
Yeah.
stupid logos down the side. I think they charge like $400 or $500
Yeah.
for those.
Yeah, there's far less.
Can you add the wheels and all that in the back like you can the TRX?
I don't know. Can you?
Not that I know of, but admittedly, like this is my second Raptor, and I didn't, build it. Like I just went in and I was like, I'll take fucking that one, because again, it's a utility work truck for me that I put a fair bit of miles on, and hard miles of a lot of times letting it sit in August with the AC on, because I've got dogs in it or whatever. So, I'm not looking to get it exactly how I want it. I need it to just fucking work well. So I didn't really give a shit. But I don't think you can get all that. Maybe you can, but they never asked. I mean, both times I was in there and I went to 2 different dealerships, they never, said, hey, do you want this or that or whatever. It's just basically like, this is what it is. And in both instances, they were rare enough to where it was like, this is the price. Fucking it's like 8,000 over fucking sticker, and if you don't buy it for that, somebody will tomorrow. So if you want it, fucking decide right now, basically. So that's like the one vehicle that they have that between not making many of them and them being pretty popular, it just kind of is what it is. You're kind of fucked in terms of trying to haggle with them a little bit, but
Yeah, I wanted the blue one so bad. Dallas, they were marked up $10,000 when I got my Raptor. So I flew up to Kentucky, and I'm an asshole when I try to fly first class and dress as broke as possible when I'm in first class, so I make all them assholes feel uncomfortable. But it was one of them small planes that's the 2 seats and the 1 seat.
Yeah.
I think it was like that. Maybe it was 2 and 2.
fucking paperclip.
And I shit you not, there's this dude sitting next to me that told me from Love Field all the way there about his wife cheating on him. And my wife is giggling. She puts her headphones on and she don't hear shit, And I'm over there like, this motherfucker, and I go, And he stops, and I'm like, okay, cool. He's done, and I go to put my headphones on, and I get a tap. Hey, man, let me tell you what else this bitch did. Fuck. Nobody gives a shit. Damn. Everybody's had a bitch like that in their life.
Yeah.
So fucking people are stupid. I mean, they're great people. If they're listening to the show, they're fucking great. Love them.
That was a great story.
Yeah.
What to me, I think since this is our first episode, maybe go down. I know a lot of people that are already, watching your channel are pretty familiar with what you have and whatever, but I think it'd be cool to get updates as, start out with this is what all we have and this is what we're doing to it. And then anytime there's something new coming out, fucking talk about what it is and what you think of it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, I mean, you want to get into what you're doing right now, or are you keeping some of that a secret?
No, I don't give a shit. I mean, I'll post it or talk about it or whatever. So on the 911, I'll start with that, I guess. It's a 2019 Turbo S. The first thing I did to it was put bigger CSF intercoolers on it, a Boost Logic titanium exhaust, and then a PDK and ECU tune. And that took it from, we dynoed it at stock beforehand, and it was 540 to the wheels. This brought it up to about 610, which I was pretty surprised. I mean, it's not fucking with the turbos or whatever. I mean, it's basically a tune and an exhaust. So to squeeze another 70 horsepower out of it is pretty significant. And it was definitely quicker, but still, it's for me, like there's a certain level of speed that, for a car that I'm going to drive that is a supercar or sports car or whatever, it has to be a certain level of fast or I just don't enjoy it, and it wasn't quite there yet. So we went with some Boost Logic. It's their 750X turbos, which it's basically the cartridge. It replaces, they're the same size, but it replaces a bearing and the cartridge. It just makes it more free-flowing and more powerful. So I ordered those, and then we did a Y-pipe, which is a lot more free-flowing, and then again retuning, to accommodate for that. I got to tell you, I was pretty fucking disappointed with it in two ways. One is it felt a little bit faster, but for what it's advertised, and this is a bitch I have with Boost Logic, is on their website it says, it's their 750X turbos, and it says right on there, we typically get 750 to 775 horsepower to the wheels on a stock engine and a little over 8 on a built engine. It was nowhere fucking near that. Now, we tried to dyno it, and JP's fucking dyno broke while it was on it, basically, so we didn't get an accurate readout. But my guess, just from my other car being at that same level, is that it's probably around 650. I think I probably gained, 40 to 60 horsepower probably over what it was. There's no way it's over 700, and it's goddamn sure nowhere near 750.
Now, is that the race gas?
No.
Okay.
But so then we put it on race gas and did a map switch or swap for that. And it's now in that level of where it's my kind of speed is like, okay, now this is what I wanted. Like I'm happy with this speed now. He's going to dyno it, I think, tomorrow. I dropped it off this morning to get it switched over to a meth kit, but just because the race gas is too expensive and too big of a pain in the ass. Plus, I think there'll be an even bigger jump with meth. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be in the upper 600s, 670, 680 maybe. But still, to me, if you're going to say it's a 750 and it needs meth to get there, like it should fucking say that.
Yeah.
To me, that's just it's a shitty business move to not do that. It's a good product, but if it's not getting to where it needs to be as advertised, like you should either have an asterisk that says with meth, this is what we're getting.
That's what you should start doing with your dogs.
Yeah.
You want a guard dog, and then you take it there, and then, oh, shit.
Oh, you wanted him trained? Yeah.
Fuck, that's extra.
He'll just guard shit. Yeah.
Right now, he barks like a motherfucker.
No, I mean that's all hammered out in the contract, which, maybe I'm hypersensitive to it that way, but like all of my clients, like they want to know exactly what the fuck they're getting, and if it's not that way, that's on me. That's my ass.
Well, as much money as you spend, I remember you calling me about that, and I was like, no, nowhere on this fucking website. I'm reading it and I'm like, nowhere fucking on here does it say you have to have meth.
Yeah.
And nowhere on their website, if I remember right, they're not even selling a meth kit, right?
Not that I saw.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that right there tells you, you know, if I'm Boost Logics, I'm going to tell you, okay, it's with meth. You're at this horsepower. If you get our meth kit,
Yeah.
it's at 750.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you even going to miss that fucking sale?
Yeah. Which to me, like if they had said that, you know, it wouldn't have deterred me from buying it. I just would have done meth right out of the gate to have 750 because that's what I wanted. So, you know, that was just frankly irritating. So, but, you know, next episode, I'll report back what it dynoed on race gas. And then by then we should also know what it's dyno into the wheels on fucking meth as well, which it you know, hopefully it'll be up, you know, above 700 at least. But in driving that, like to compare it to the R8, which I'll get into in a second, that had a supercharger, the fastest I ever got 60 to 130 was a 6.7 in the supercharged R8. I only really got one decent run. For sure it can go faster. I didn't do it from a standstill. I don't think you're going to get much faster. I've seen people claim getting 5/8 out of it. I don't see it.
No.
I just don't see it, you know. If somebody's doing that, I'd love to see a fucking draggy verified video of it. Cause
Not on a track. I mean, because you go on a sticky track, you're going to change a little bit.
yeah, maybe. But even then, like, you know, slippage isn't the problem. Like it's not that it's not gripping.
Yeah, it's still at, you know, 60 to 130. You're already at momentum.
Yeah.
Whether you're on a track or not.
Yeah. And whether you start from a standstill or at 58, like, you know, the fact is it's not hooking up, you know,
Yeah,
it's just
true.
not that fucking quick. You know, you may be able to get 2, maybe 0.3 faster and better, you know, fucking with a tailwind and a little more of a slope that's, you know, whatever. But anyway, the best run I got in the 911 on race gas, I got down to 6.2. So, I mean, it's a half second faster. Everything that I've seen, I haven't dynoed the R8. Sheepy is going to dyno it. Just because I asked him to, I wanted to see what it pulls in at. But everywhere I've seen that people have done R8s or Huracans with the VF supercharger is that it's about 640. So it would make sense that if the 911 is, you know, 670, 680, maybe that would probably accommodate. Maybe it's close to 700. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. But so that's the one project I'm working on right now. Once it has meth, I'll probably leave it alone, honestly, because even on race gas, it's fast enough for me.
We should get your license plate to say that's methed up.
Yes.
Just methed up.
Yes.
Mike Tyson style.
Yeah, this methed up. This 911 methed up.
Yeah. So so anyway, we'll see how that goes, but I'm looking forward to getting that back. And then on the R8, I bought it's a 2020 R8, and I put a supercharger on it back in April. Sent it down to Motorworks. Had them do it. They did a great job. Super fun to drive. Real linear power, like it's immediate. Still drives very much like a naturally aspirated, but just wasn't as fast as I would like it. So I sent it out to Sheepy Race via Matt's recommendation, and Alex out there has been great thus far. I got out there yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they're doing their Stage 2 Plus E85 standalone Motec flex fuel kit on that. So everything I've seen, everything that he's published, and I've seen draggy videos to back it up, is they're getting, you know, 3.7 runs, 60 to 130, and pushing in the upwards of 1,200 to the wheels on that. So I'm really looking forward to getting that back and seeing what the fuck that's all about. But those are the two projects I have going on right now.
That I'm really excited to see that. Like when we talked about it over and over, you know, your options you were weighing back and forth, and you were between a race gas. I'm not going to mention the company, but you were between a race gas, high horsepower, or the Sheepy Race. And I love Alex to death, and I didn't want to just push you because it's not my money, not my true decision, but it's going to be so easy around here to get E85, throw that, and just walk off some of these cars.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go to Mexico, of course.
Yeah.
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 All the way down to Mexico.
Yeah.
You can get a quick 60 to 130 in.
Yeah. Down in Mexico. So that means I'm going to have to sell my car. I'm going to have to buy something faster.
I was going to say the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how much the 720 is losing because of these blow-off valves.
Yeah.
The quickest 60 to 130 I got on it was the 475, 474.
Well, here's what's crazy about that. That's right in line with the fucking Bugatti Chiron, right?
Yeah.
I've seen several videos that are putting it in the high fours on 60 to 130, which that's a $3.5 million car. That's 1,500 to the crank. I don't know what that. It's probably dynoing at 1,000, 1,100 maybe. I don't know, but it's still considerably more horsepower than what you're rolling with. Now, granted, it's quite a bit heavier too, but still, it's a fucking $3.5 million car that you're every bit as fast as right now. And yeah, I think if you figure out a way to harness the blowout fucking power, you'll be able to get, probably in the low fours even. But what I'm real curious to see is just how the Sheepy Stage 2 does against the 720.
Are you checking what I just looked up? The Chiron's weight?
I was just checking the specs on it.
Holy shit, I pulled up the Chiron's weight. Have you looked at that?
No, but it's a huge fucking car. It's got to be fucking 5,000 pounds.
4,500 pounds.
Yeah, God damn.
And that's, from what I'm seeing, that's dry weight.
Yeah.
So you put
all the
10,
bullshit
15 gallons of gas at 8 pounds a gallon.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you're talking 1,000 pounds difference. When you do power to weight ratio, that McLaren all day long is nutty.
Yeah.
Now, it goes the same thing, what you're going to have power-wise, because your R8 isn't much different. Now, what was its weight?
It's 3,500.
35, so I think it's 300 pounds or 200 pounds, something like that different.
Yeah.
You add that much more power to it, holy shit, that's going to be nutty. Matt, what's your dream car? What's going to be your first supercar?
I've told you before, I think the Audi, the R8, is where I'm going to start in and then work my way up, kind of like you did.
I got a question. It's like my wife calls Ree-Sees, and it pisses me off.
You're about to say Audi or Audi, right?
Is it Audi or Audi?
I mean, I always pronounce it Audi, but
it's the same thing. Like I go to Porsche, and you
Porsche,
they're all Porsche. Like, bitch, you put an A on the back of that car, I'll call it a Porsche. Until then, that's American, bitch. That's a Porsche.
That's got to be probably by far the most controversially pronounced or mispronounced fucking car out there, right?
It's like Ree-Se's.
Yeah.
My wife pisses me off with that. If I go into a store and I'm like, hey, do you want anything? Yeah, get me some Ree-Se's. I'll come out, tell me they were out. They didn't even fucking know what I was talking about. They had Reese's, but they ain't got no Ree-See.
Yeah.
And you're an asshole. Now listen to the commercial.
Yeah.
Now play it for her.
Yeah.
You find me a commercial with that motherfucker saying Ree-Se's,
Yeah.
I'll go get you all them bitches.
I ain't going to say it then. That's how I say it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm curious with you, Matt. What is it about the R8 that blows your fucking hair back?
I like the way they look. Just the lines in them, the body lines, and they're pretty much a Huracan.
Do you like the newer, the 2020 generation?
See, I've looked at both of them. Either one wouldn't be bad for me,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the 3 generations now. Gen 1, Gen 2, and yours, the 2020 is like still a Gen 2, but it's a Gen 2 facelift, right?
Yeah. Everything else is the same, and the front and the back, there's just it's a little more aggressive. I like mine or the new facelift a lot. I think it makes it look way more aggressive in my opinion. But
the reason I like the Gen 2s and up, the only difference is they all have V10s, but you have the Plus, and then when you get in yours, which I consider a Gen 3, because they took out yours is a performance instead of a Plus.
Yeah.
And the one like mine, my 2017, it was you had an R8 Spider Plus, or an R8 Plus.
Back then, was it the spoilers the only difference aesthetically between the two?
The spoiler and 40 horsepower is like the difference in the
Turbo and Turbo S.
Yeah, Turbo S, the Lamborghini that are rear wheel drive. But what would be a cool car for you to look at? It's actually coming down. They're cheaper, but I said coming down, they're actually going up in value, is the rear wheel steer. Audi R8, I think it's 2018, 2017, 2018. It's a rear wheel steer car. That thing's stupid.
Yeah.
And they're
haven't even seen those.
Man, you need to get to Google. I look at that in Pornhub all day.
All day.
I got 2 screens on my main computer. One's Pornhub, one's cars. And sometimes I masturbate to both.
What, if you would, take us through your roster of what you have and what you're doing.
Right now I have the McLaren 720S, and of course it's at JP's. It's got rifed full exhaust, catless downpipes, fullback titanium, pure turbos, JP's tune. I'm not sure who he uses. I don't think it's DME. I think he uses somebody else. Could be DME. I could be a total fucking idiot. And some filters. And we have the WiseTech blow-off valves on there right now, but we're actually taking them off because when your Porsche was in there, it had him looking at my data logs, and my data logs were showing turbo loss in the with the blow-off valve. So as it's full throttle and shifting gears, every time I heard that cool ass, I was losing power. Yeah. And he said, "Are you hearing it on the upper end or when you're in the gas?" And I'm not paying attention to that shit. And ever since he said that, I was hearing it. So it's there now. And right now, horsepower-wise to the wheels, we're pushing, where is it? On the race fuel, we're at 1,022 horsepower. And on 93 octane, we're pushing 984.
Dude, that's fucking nutty.
And Matt's been in there before when
Is that what it was when I drove it?
on the 93, yeah.
Yeah. It was at 9 something?
Yeah.
God damn.
When he took it off traction control that day.
Dude, I had never dead stop punched that bitch, and we left that rooftop shit, and I dead stop punched that fucking car. And he's over there, woo, and I'm over here fucking shifting gears like we're about to die, you know. And I think it was, a couple miles down the road after your video, and I looked at you. I said, "Did you realize how many gears I caught to catch that car?"
So I saw you over there on the control.
Yeah, I don't get the pucker factor much. Yeah, I didn't shit for a week.
We both looked at each other when we were done like, whoa.
That shit went back up in me. And then I have the Audi RSQ8, of course, downpiped, and it's DME tuned. It's got a burble tune that pisses me off.
It sounds like popcorn.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. There was something I said the other day to a guy. I always call it a fart in a jug when you hear people going, brrr, you know, that pop, 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 pop. It's like, sounds like a fucking Uzi.
Yeah.
And not a cool one either.
Yeah.
You know, like a fucking air gun.
Yeah.
And then it's fun, but it's going away because I ordered the TRX.
Did you dyno that?
No, I haven't ever dynoed it up. Probably should take it to JP's and have him dyno it so we can get some real world numbers. Now that we have the Draggy, I want to get the 0 to 60, the 60 to 130.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
You think it'd be sub 9 on the 60 to 130?
Oh, yeah. I would think so. I would think, what's it doing? Stock. 60 to 130 on an RSQ8.
It's like a stock fucking R8 and Huracan is like fucking 8.2, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. Or 7.8. It's high 7s, low 8s.
I'm going to piss some people off, and this is where we're going to lose some already subscribers. Dude, I loved Lamborghini and I still love the Aventador, but the Huracan to me, I would take the R8 all day long over that car. And the more I see them, and no disrespect to everybody, because congrats on owning a Lamborghini, because almost all of us have had one on our wall or something at some point, other than Mike. Mike didn't have shit like that. He was into other shit.
I actually let me fucking divulge for just a quick second. Looking back on it, the only posters I had on my wall growing up were actually fucking penthouse centerfolds. My parents, no bullshit, let me hang naked bitches on my wall growing up.
You have some cool ass parents.
Yeah. Cool parents, yeah.
My mom only smoked weed with me.
Only.
I couldn't hang porn. Yeah.
That's great.
So did you get to punch a hole in one of them?
No. I mean, not on this podcast.
Oh, okay. That's for the next part.
Yeah. Fucking glory hole.
But so, and that could have been Mike's way of stopping me because my wife says I have no fucking filter, but I think, no disrespect, but the Huracan to me is the Honda Civic of supercars. They're cool till you pull up at a meet and there's 40 of them. And they're not comfortable. I would take an R8 where you see 5 or 6 of them. You can jump in an R8 all day long. You're comfortable. And you can attest to this. You could drive your R8 wherever the hell you want.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, I put 5,000 miles on it and I bought it 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Or I've had it for 4 months basically, you know, and because it was down in Motorworks for 5 weeks. You know, there was a couple different fucking problems with the facelift of getting it to mount, getting the supercharger to mount properly, whatever. So I bought it in March. They had it all of April. I got it back in May. So May, June, July, August. You know, for 4.5 months, I put 5,000 miles on it. You know, so I couldn't stay out of it. You know, it was fucking great. It was super comfortable.
That's how I am when I have the 720, and how I was with the, you know, the when I had my R8, which TJ Hunt has my R8 now, and I couldn't ask for a better owner to get it after my dumb ass fucking wrecked it. And we still don't know 100% what happened. It's not full driver error or anything like that. It was something just locked up. It was nutty. But my R8, I would take it anywhere. And Matt rode to Waco with me, and I found it horribly uncomfortable. And he's hanging out the window taking pictures of other cars, and he's like, "This thing's fucking great.
It's the greatest thing ever."
You're a fucking asshole. You know, just because I think I did, 170,
We hit about 180 that one.
Yeah. And,
down in Mexico.
And this motherfucker's hanging out the window. You know,
Gotta get the shots.
Yeah. Well, there's way better visibility in the R8 too.
Oh, all day long.
You
know, first thing I did when I got mine, it had some Japanese freaking kit on it, carbon fiber kit on it. And I took that shit off. I mean, it was a nice carbon fiber kit. It just wasn't my style. To me, I think Lamborghini built that car perfect, and the only thing it needed was a wing. Other than that, that car was great. You know, kind of like an R8. The only reason I don't think I'd get a regular R8 is because it don't have a wing on it. You put that wing that comes stock on the R8, it's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's amazing how big of a difference having that on it makes.
Oh, yeah.
Know? I mean, it looks night and day different.
It's aggressive. Yeah. And I would say, you've rode in my 720, you've rode in my 720, Matt. I would say my 720 smokes the Huracan as far as comfort.
Yeah, big time.
All day long.
Well, I mean, both in comfort and in ride quality too. I mean, like it's head and shoulders above. I'm actually baffled at how soft and dampened that 720 can be if you put it, you know, in the right settings. I mean, it's more comfortable than the R8 even. It rides better.
It has and it's controllable. I mean, and I was showing you when you were driving it, the 3 selectable modes. You feel every one of them has a different characteristic. Yeah. And it's wild. It's a great car. It's the best money I spent. That's why I'm scared to go drive the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm fucking so scared.
I think it's going to feel fucking slow though. I mean, by comparison, like
the F8's what, 660 horsepower?
Well, it's 710 at the crank.
710?
Yeah. At the crank. I mean, so it's probably 620, 630 maybe. I don't know how they rate their shit or how close it is. I know like with the 911, I mean, it says 580 to the crank and it's 540 to the wheels. So, I mean, that's
not a very big loss.
Yeah, whereas like most of them, say take the R8 as an example, that's listed at 612, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's right around 500, 490 something. So that's a pretty significant fucking jump. And putting the supercharger on it bumps it up to about 640 to the wheels, which is a big goddamn difference. But
to me, that's weird, and I've never paid attention to that. But it's neat you bring that up because Porsche and the Audi Porsche group, they're not known for 610 horsepower, and it has that much of a drop. If it's 610, a lot of times they're 0 to 60s. Their Porsches are big for that. If they tell you a 0 to 60 is 3.2, chances are it's 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but maybe because within the Volkswagen Auto Group, you've got Porsche, you've got Volkswagen, you've got Audi, and you've got Lamborghini now, right? So it's a Lamborghini engine. So I don't know if that is what makes it such a disparity comparatively to say the Porsches, but in talking back to ride quality, I will say it's one of the things about the 911 that I absolutely fucking love. Like, I mean, that car, you could do the Gold Rush rally in no problem and be fucking comfortable as shit. I love that thing. It's a blast to drive.
Well, it's like I told you the day we did the comparison R8 and 911 where we were racing them both. I wanted to drive the 911 more after I drove it. I almost skipped past your house and just kept driving. You ain't getting your car back. Yeah. I'll be back. I'll fill it up.
No, I mean, at this point, especially with it being as fast as it is now, I like it quite a bit better than the R8. I mean, I drove it all day today, basically running the gas out to take it to JP. And I mean, I just didn't want to get out of it. You know, the handling on it and the comfortability and I keep it in manual the whole fucking time with traction control off. With the PDCC, the fucking suspension, sport suspension on, you know, activated.
That silly shit it has on it.
Yeah, and I mean it's an incredible fucking car. Yeah, I mean it's probably the most fun driving car I've driven to date. You know, with it being as fast as it is now. But
you've been in a lot of fast cars, Matt. Which one's your favorite?
I'd have to say the McLaren 720 is probably my favorite. It's comfortable. I like how you get down in it. It's like sitting in a race car pretty much.
My only complaint is I don't think you could get roadhead very easy in the McLaren.
Well, not with that attitude, you can't.
Oh, trust me. I've tried to buy that shit from her in the car. I'm trying to look up this. You're right, 710, and they're saying 700. It was the the 488 that was 660 on the F8. Sorry, guys, I went a little from roadhead to Ferrari specs.
You're skipping around too
Back
much.
to the roadhead. What other one stood out to you?
I liked your Lamborghini you had too.
Man, fuck that car.
I thought it was comfortable. I mean, maybe the passenger seat was more comfortable. I don't know.
I don't know.
And that had the VF supercharger on
It
it.
was
Too,
VF supercharged, and it had the E85 mix tune on it where you do
Oh no shit!
10 gallons of E85. I think it was 5 gallons to the 93 octane.
How big of a difference did you see with the E85 on that?
It was noticeable, but not huge. You know, it wasn't one of those like butt dyno.
Yeah.
I would say 40, 50
Yeah.
horsepower maybe. And that's, I would say wheel, so maybe 75
Yeah.
to the crank. But not enough to deal with the headaches of sometimes trying to find and then try to be a fucking chemist at the fucking gas pump. Like, was that 5 gallons? Did it have 1-2 gallons too many in there?
Yeah.
You know, the way yours is going to be now, I mean, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah, it just automatically senses and calculates, you know, what fucking horsepower to throw in it based on how much octane is in there, and it just measures it basically. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's
and ultimately, I mean, between price and convenience, you know, I don't want to fuck with race gas, and I don't want to have a car that, you know, just like with the Porsche being on race gas, for like once you have it on race gas and then you don't, you're fucking irritated, you know, like, so I don't want to have that option of like, well, now I have to put it on fucking race gas or I'm going to be fucking disappointed every time I get in it. So yeah, it made more sense to do the E85 kit. But
Did you like the Porsche that we rode in, the electric one?
dude, that car.
It was nuts, but not having an engine noise was kind of.
So here's my thing about that car. Because you have the new Tesla, and that's a good car to talk about right now, the Tesla Plaid that's coming out. But you have this Porsche that I want to say it was $220,000, but it's an electric car. And you're paying for the name. 100% you're paying for the brand.
yeah,
Was it fast? That bitch had more torque and power from the jump
yeah, it's
than anything
immediate.
I felt.
Yeah,
But it wasn't worth 220. It's kind of like what I was saying about the RSQ8 versus you have the SQ5.
yeah,
The RSQ8 to me is not a double the money car, just like the Urus isn't a double the money car from the RSQ8.
yeah,
You're basically at that point paying for a brand and an engine.
yeah.
But that car, I shit you not, from the jump has probably left me. I would love to get in a gasoline vehicle that does that straight.
Well, so, you know, this is one test, so it's a little anecdotal, right? But CarWow did a Taycan versus the 992 Turbo S, and in the launch, right? They did the quarter mile, but if you watch that video, even in the launch, the 992 actually beats the fucking Taycan
No shit.
off the line. Yeah, you should watch it. It's fucking nuts.
When are you getting one of them?
Whenever it comes in, I ordered it. I'm third on the list right now, so it'll probably be next year around this time is probably when I actually get it. But yeah, so.
I'm trying to look up the specs to the Tesla Plaid, and I can tell you right now, I'm into speed and I already want to throw this computer. The Tesla Plaid is, I want to say it. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I can't find it either.
I want to say the numbers on it is like $136,000.
Yeah.
But it's 0 to 60 is
1.9.
Yeah, it's under 2, and it's under 9-second quarter mile.
Yeah. Well, and it says it's calculated like 1,100 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the hell,
That's crazy.
in that kind of weight, are you pulling?
No, it doesn't even make sense. I don't know how you got, hats off to fucking Tesla and the engineers there. How are you getting the fucking power down and hooking and staying? Like, I mean, that's what doesn't make sense. Like, because the torque in an electric car is always higher, right? Because it's immediate and it's everything right at the gate. So how the fuck they're getting it to actually hook up? I mean, it's baffling to me.
Says here that I pulled up that it has 1,100 horsepower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it, where'd it go?
4,000 torque.
Saying it runs faster lap than the McLaren P1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that the other day that they did a test lap somewhere and it smoked the P1.
I think it was Laguna Seca, I think.
That's where it was.
Yeah.
Laguna right here.
Under 2 seconds. What is the weight of this car? It's got to be close to 4,000 pounds.
Well, see, I don't know, though, because it doesn't have an engine. It doesn't have a traditional engine, right? So I think it actually may be lighter. Maybe that's the fucking rub. I don't know. But
I mean, Tesla announces Plaid. Bitch, tell me how much it weighs.
I mean, I think if you just Googled the fucking curb weight on a Model S, it'll be close.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be shaving something somewhere. I mean, maybe they took out the iTunes shit and made it quicker.
That's fucking wild. 1,100 horsepower.
That's a lot of freaking power.
But again, to me, that's always, at least from my experience, is the, around 700 to the wheel is when you get into, above that, it's hard to use it in a lot of environments.
Yeah, we talked about that when you were sending yours off.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's why I love the 911 and kind of where it's at and why I want to just keep it there is that, because even I did a launch in it the other day, and it was in Sport Plus, and again, this is probably in the high sixes to the wheels. I mean, I fucking launched and it spun all over the fucking place, it's all-wheel drive. And I mean, it fucking back end was swinging out and all four wheels were fucking spinning. And I did a 3.5 0 to 60 because it sat there and spun for fucking, a half second before it actually fucking went off, But so to me, and especially like, I mean, that's not that I've driven an F8 yet, but the weather was bad when we were supposed to go do it. But, that's, and same with the 720 is like, the rear wheel drive for me, when you get into 700 horsepower, like there's a lot of areas where you can't even use that, but
yeah.
Why doesn't McLaren make a fucking all-wheel drive car?
I don't know, man.
Is it the weight?
But the drift control, if you play with that in that car, of course, the day I got nutty with it, didn't turn that shit on. But it'll control the backspin, and that's in a 720.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a fucking engineer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like the way that they're doing that though is it's traction
power
control and you're losing power, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, again, it's like to me that high 600s is kind of the magic number of like anything above that. And I wouldn't say you're necessarily wasting your money, but because obviously if cars like yours are doing 4.8 60 to 130s and the Sheepy 2 Plus is doing 3.7, they're putting it down, but that's a very specific fucking window race also,
Yeah, that's you have to know your parameters, where you're launching, where you're taking off, and
what gear you're in, all that shit.
Yeah,
you gotta be paying real close attention to that.
You don't, let's do a 40 punch, at 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah.
And some fucking regular ass Walmart tires on that bitch, fucking hit the wall. So the Tesla Model X, just to switch, or the Model S, to get back to that, the Model S weighs 4,647 pounds.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And of course, that's all weight because there's no fuel to get put in the damn thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you put a fat ass person in there, a couple people, that weight, they had to trim that Plaid somewhere.
Yeah.
They had to.
Yeah.
And are they going to have carbon ceramic brakes? Those are a lot of questions I think a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
I haven't found anything on it.
Yeah.
You imagine going that fast and you can't fucking stop because you got some junk ass brakes on there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm real curious to hear. Well, here's the one thing with that though, right? Is I think is that in that drivetrain, like it's almost looking at it from the wrong perspective, right? Is that there's a mechanism where when you brake, it's not just the brakes, it's the motor. It's the motor has the ability to not only slow it down, but take the energy and the force from that and put it back into the fucking battery, basically.
That's true.
So I think that's where they're probably getting around it. But I think, to me, you're still dealing like what fucking tires, like between handling, right? Because it's not, I mean, from what it looks like anyway, I mean, it's not as aero or low to the ground or from a suspension standpoint, doesn't seem like it's as robust as a lot of, an F8 or a 911 or what, the more track focused cars. So I don't get how it's able to fucking do that.
No. I mean, I'm going to have to buy one probably to figure it out.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Matt, I think you need to buy us a Tesla Plaid.
Yeah. I'll work on that.
Does it say what they're fucking, what do they cost? 130?
136.
Yeah. Man.
And if you want the assisted driving, which I don't need that fucking car driving for me, it's another $8,000.
Yeah, fuck that.
And if you want wide interior, that's another $6,000. It's like, I mean, we drive cars that you go through and you just start checking stuff, and it's like, oh, this ain't bad.
Yeah.
And you get in there and you go to sign papers, and it's like, hey man, that shit started out back there $100,000 cheaper. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, well, you wanted a carbon fiber gas tank.
Yeah, you wanted a rear view mirror, right?
Yeah.
That's extra.
Yeah. I love showing people my McLaren. They're like, oh man, it's got carbon here. Why ain't there carbon here? Bitch, the dude didn't pick it out. Okay.
Yeah, no
well,
shit.
fucking get off me. I will fucking have someone come pinstripe it to look like carbon fiber. Mind your business.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get the the R8. It's gonna be your first supercar. The AMG's a good one to look at too.
Yeah, I was showing you a few of those.
But you
too.
hate the AMGs.
I don't like the fucking suspension on them. I've had 3 of them, right? 4 of them, and I started out with it was a 2016. It was not really an AMG. It was their GLE 450. That's the V6. AMG. I mean, it has legit AMG badging on it, whatever. But it was like a 5-second 0 to 60, and I mean, it was a quick, fun little car. But it's just like the GLE, hunchback fucking X6 looking car, right? And then I kicked it up to the actual AMG, the GLE 63S, about a 2018. Same thing. It's the hunchback, but it's got the at that point, it still had the 5.5 liter V8 in it that was making 577, and it was like a 4.1 0 to 60. A fun car to drive. Again, it was kind of the first, faster car that I had. And then I put about 10,000 miles on that, and then traded it in for an E63S. And I tuned that and got it up to about 700 horsepower, and that was a fun car. But similarly, like, it didn't stop very fast, didn't handle like it needed to for that kind of power and speed. I mean, it's on par with an M5, and it just it was still not that fucking next level type thing. And then I got rid of that and got a GLC 63, the smallest SUV, which you had one of those too. So I've had 4 of them, and all 4 of them, were nice cars, but the suspension on every one of them was just, I mean, fucking give you hemorrhoids. Like, it was just horrible. Like, even in comfort, it was rough enough to the point where I didn't like driving it. And so to me, like, that's my fucking issue with every AMG I've ever been in, is they're just rough as a motherfucker. GTR or the GT series, same thing, whether it's the GT63 or the GTC, GTR or whatever. Similarly, like, all the suspensions are the same. It's like same whore in a different dress. They just all suck.
Yeah.
To me, like, the engines are awesome. I will say the fucking exhaust in an AMG, I don't think you can beat. You know? I mean,
that's like a Ferrari to me. The Ferrari has one of the best exotic notes, but an AMG for a V8.
Yeah, just I mean, they nail that shit. But So yeah, I mean, for me, I just I couldn't get past that, and I tried 4 fucking times, and they were all equally fucking shitty that way. So
did you ride in my GLC 63? To me, and you can tell me it felt like a damn pickup truck. The way the seat was arranged, it felt really, really high. Mm-hmm. Almost, you in a pickup truck, you have that. That's how it felt to me. Like, it didn't feel like a luxury car to me. I mean, it was nice, but something about it just never felt like, oh, I'm in luxury.
There was just nothing special about it. You know? It's a good car, but there's nothing about it that you're like, holy fuck, you know?
Yeah, there's not people at any stoplight rolling down the window. Is that new GLC 63, bro? Yeah, man.
Is that new pregnant roller skate that Mercedes came out with? Yeah, it sure as fuck is.
Yeah, your shit looks like a fucked up jelly bean.
All right, so we'll scratch that one off the list.
Another one, I tell you, and I said this the other day, one of my favorite cars outside of the Audi R8 to own was a Cayman 718 GTS.
Yeah.
That fucking car is so fun to drive. It's not the fastest car in the world, but with my neighborhood and all these roundabouts, man, I was driving that bitch like a go-kart around this motherfucker all the time.
Well, the new, I don't know if it's got the same 992 nomenclature. Maybe that's specific to the turbo, or I'm sorry, 911. But the new 2020 718 Cayman GT4.
That's supposed to be a bad bitch.
Yeah, well, it's up in the, I think, low to mid 400 horsepower, 6-speed fucking manual. And DeMiro did a really cool review of it, and he was like, that motherfucker's driven everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, no shit, this is probably the most fun car I've ever fucking driven. Like, for him to say that,
oh yeah,
I mean, that tells you it's at least worth fucking checking into, because that dude. One of the things I really love about him and his reviews is they're so fucking fair and non-biased, and for the most part, like, everybody has their preference, but if something isn't worth a fuck, like, he's quick to point that out. But I tried to almost buy one. Actually, I was gonna go look at one. There, Porsche Plano had one, and
the new one.
Yeah, they
really?
had a brand fucking new one. And it was considered technically used. It had like 400 miles on it.
Was it one of the ones where they do it? It's basically someone...
Like a press car or whatever?
Well, when I got my Cayman, someone came in and wanted a GT2 RS. And they never owned a Porsche, but they couldn't buy the brand new GT2 RS. You had to have lineage.
Oh, yeah. So they bought one to...
The asshole bought the car next to which was my car.
Yeah.
And walked out. Traded it right in. I want to say he lost 40 grand.
God damn.
Like, they walked out of the office. Dude walked 100 foot and 100 foot back, lost 40 grand.
That's fucking.
I mean, God bless him, because I saved a shit ton of money buying the car. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was that deal or not, but it was a beautiful fucking. I don't know what the nomenclature is, but it was like a dark royal blue.
It's probably this one, like I have pulled up on the screen. It's one of their like their press car.
Yeah.
It's almost like you said, a royalish, dark blue.
Yeah, I called the guy I know there, and I said, hey, is this still available? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, I'm going to come in today at early afternoon, and I want to drive it. And he sent me a message like mid-morning. He's like, dude just came in and fucking bought it. And I was like, God damn.
What an asshole.
Yeah, which is better anyway. I mean, I'll stick with the fucking 911, but I do want to drive one, though.
Little bash rate's 385 horsepower, which don't sound like much, which it's not. Until you drive one of those little fuckers.
But in the new one, it's
steroids.
400 though, right? It's like 415.
This is showing 385, but I'm thinking that's wheel is what it is. Which you'd be about 415, which is normal for Porsche to throw out a BS number and be like, "Ha, got you, bitch." That Porsche is great about that. That's another car you should look into. The Cayman, when you get in the upper lines, you have the base ones, the S and the regular. They're not that great a car. The GTS, where you start getting the better suspension and things like that, where it's adjusting and doing things and it's working. Dude, that car's fun as shit to drive. Literally an adult go-kart.
Yeah. What's the weight on that?
I think it said 38, not 38. It was kilograms. 3,800 kilograms.
Well, that'd be fucking 7,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's not right. Let me look. See, Mike's smart. Mike knows all these numbers and shit.
No, I got the internet right here.
I don't think I paid my bill because my shit just don't come up. Did you find the weight? Oh, see, you're right. This GT4 that I'm looking at is the last model.
Yeah,
it's
it's 2955.
God damn!
So,
really?
Yeah. So it's and this 2016 which was the last time they came out with it. 385. Yeah, the new one. It's a new engine. It's got, I think, I don't know what all the fuck they did to it, but yeah, it's. I remember reading it was like 414, something like that. Yeah, 414. So it went from 385 to 414.
Yeah.
But
I just got it pulled up.
But a 6-speed fucking manual at 2,900 pounds, like, god damn, that'd be fun to drive.
Holy shit! They're testing right now an RS of the GT4.
Really?
They're going to have a GT4 RS being tested right now. Car and Driver did a review on it. 500 horsepower, and it has the 4.0.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking badass.
I may have to get one of them. I may need one of them. I told you if I ever start road coursing a car,
yeah,
I'm going to go get a fucking Cayman.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
And if they got one in a GT4 RS,
yeah,
fucking sold. Right,
badass.
Go on, write mine up. I say this shit, and as soon as this airs, I get a call from fucking Porsche Grapevine. Hey, man, we heard you.
We've got one in right now.
What color you want? We'll get that shit on the boat.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Which, by the way, is a great dealership if they want to sponsor us. Yeah, so the Cayman, that's another one. But it don't get and one of my biggest bitches about Porsche, and I've told you this, I believe, the 911, once you get into that Turbo S, it don't get the props it deserves. And some people will say the GT3 RS is considered a supercar, and if you look at almost anybody's reviews, they say, no, it's not a supercar. And I still don't understand why, because I have more fun driving the 911 Turbo S and up cars than almost any other car you can drive.
Yeah.
And it might not be as powerful as a 720, the R8s, stock to stock. Yeah. But that car is more something about it gives you feedback, it gives you feel. The brakes don't feel go-kartish.
It's an absolute fucking blast to drive, and especially you bump it up into the 700 horsepower, and it's the best of everything. It's fucking incredible. Like I said today, I put a couple 100 miles on it, and I was just like, dude, fuck me, I don't want to give this thing up.
Yeah.
Even for a few days, it's that awesome to drive. It's absolutely incredible.
It's the only car I know that you've had at JP's that you're like a crackhead. I'm like, hey JP, when you got my car ready, bro?
No shit.
What you got on that Porsche, bro?
Yeah, it's like I hate not having it. But right now both of them are gone, so I'm fucking driving my truck around.
Yeah, I'll rent you a supercar
when you get it back.
When I get mine back. Yeah. How about a super SUV? You want to rent one of those? So yeah, the Porsche gets horrible recognition in my opinion. To me, that GT2 RS is damn near hypercar, not supercar.
Yeah.
And it does get in that supercar realm, and they consider it a supercar. Bitch, that's a $400,000 car.
Yeah.
You don't want to put it in hypercar territory, but it's going out there and waxing the shit out of hypercars.
Yeah.
And doing it with a smile on your face, air conditioning, and the ability to push your fucking cup holder out of the dash.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm glad they fixed that in the 992. Those fucking cup holders are hideous.
Yeah.
But
fucking hate.
Yeah, they're great cars.
Yeah, I love it.
What else? What else you got, Matt? You want to talk about porn? Your favorite?
Yeah, I've got midget porn up right now.
There's nothing wrong with that. I got in trouble. I'll tell you, there's one video on my channel. The only video do you know which video I'm talking about?
There's a few, I think, but
so me and my buddies, and this is going to offend some people. So if you're sensitive, just shut it off. And we appreciate you listening to how far you listen to, but shut it the fuck off for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I did a video, and I wanted to bring people in. And me and my buddies have this thing about midget farming. And it'd be so easy to do. I mean, you think about it. You don't need tall fences. They're not going to climb. And now that I think about it, it's probably the biggest asshole thing I've ever put on the air. And I've said some fucked up shit, you know, but I thought it was great. But at the end of the day, you know, midgets have feelings too. And I think we should start that movement.
Yeah.
The stickers don't even have to be that big.
You get some t-shirts made up.
Yeah. I mean,
midgets have feelings too.
Yeah. Midgets have feelings too. Yeah. And I was telling my wife today, another shirt idea, fucking around with her. I seen one of them baby on board stickers.
Yeah.
And I said, man, if you ever have a kid, I'm putting baby in this bitch on my truck. And she said, you ain't doing that shit on mine. I said, no, I'm going to get you a shirt while you're pregnant, though. It's going to say baby in this bitch. So, yeah. So if y'all get to ask to be a witness at a divorce hearing, I'd appreciate y'all to remember we're friends.
On back to the cars for a quick second, I do have one thing I want to ask the fucking listeners, for all 9 of you that are listening right now, is
that's cute. You think we're still at 9?
What is the deal with fucking Corvette owners? And I'll follow that on with, like, if you're gonna buy that car, fucking drive it.
Don't be a bitch.
I mean, dude, 3 times today, right? I'm driving around in a 911 trying to get them to go, and none of them would. It was 2 Z06s, one of which had a fucking airplane wing of a goddamn spoiler on it.
So it looked like a shopping cart?
Yeah. Had for sure it was some sort of custom exhaust. You know, and I pull up and the dude's just like both hands on the wheel, kind of looks over and 2-finger wave, and I'm like, I'm not trying to wave at you, dude. We were on the turnpike.
Oh, that shit was happening on the turnpike?
Nobody around, and wanted nothing to do with it, you know? And it happened 2 more fucking times. Once on the way to JP's, actually, my girlfriend videotaped us from behind. How fucking cool is that? She sees me pull up next to this. She's like, oh, these motherfuckers are going to race.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Well, we were all on a different page.
Yeah.
So she's videotaping, right? But no, I mean, like, I pull up and she just is like, oh, they're going to race, and goes to fucking videotape it. And you see it on camera there. I roll up next to it, and the fucking, you know, it's a Z06, wants nothing to do with it. I just... And I've run into that around here. I mean, I've run into dozens of them at this point, and I've gotten one fucking Corvette owner to race, and it was like an 82 fucking Stingray with like three feet of shit sticking out of the hood, and that was the only one that would fucking do it. Like on the Transverse, every fucking Camaro, it can be a bone stock pony model RS, fucking 300 and some odd horsepower, and that motherfucker wants to get some. Like, why is
Mustang?
Why is there such a disparity between I mean, Challengers, Chargers, Mustangs, and Camaros? Every one of those motherfuckers wants to race, even if they know they're going to get their ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. Corvettes, never. Fucking none of them ever want to race.
Well, you have to look. And this goes into the same Huracan category. Were both owners wearing a Corvette hat or T-shirt or driving gloves that you could tell at the time? Because it's usually those guys.
Yeah, the fucking polo.
Yeah, it's usually those guys with all the gear. Like, they go in and they don't just leave with a car. They have to get UPS to ship their fucking merch they just bought, so everybody knows when they're in their other car that they have a Lamborghini or a Corvette.
When they're in their Subaru, that their other car is a Corvette.
Yeah, so I mean, it's those guys normally don't want to race.
Yeah,
but you get the mechanic that's out test driving that car for them to make sure that oil leak's fixed.
Yeah,
that motherfucker will fuck you up.
Have you guys run into that? Like, did a lot of them don't want to fucking race?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have many things that want to race. That's what my wife always said. What'd you race today? Well, fucking Mike wasn't there. I didn't race shit. Nobody wants to race.
Well, what was it when we were in your car? We had a bunch of BMWs that want to race.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. No,
fucking,
they're always good for...
But it's not the fast BMWs. No, it's like fucking M3s or M2s, you know.
With exhaust.
Which are fun cars.
The 340i.
Yeah.
Well, the best sleeper I ever came across was on 635. It was a 340i with monster fucking tires, and you could tell it was a custom exhaust. That was it. 4-door little fucking sedan, and it was like blue, you know, like no stickers, I mean, nothing, not even nice wheels. I mean, just big fucking fat ass tires and a little bit of custom exhaust, and that was it. And I was in the R8 with the supercharger in at the time, and I barely fucking beat that guy.
Holy shit. That's like on the way back from Waco.
Yeah.
We pulled up next to a Demon. I'm in a supercharged Huracan. I thought I was going to walk this fucking Demon. No, it wasn't even a Demon, was it? It was a Hellcat.
It was a Hellcat, I believe.
Challenger Hellcat.
Yeah.
Man, I jumped on it. I was like, this dude don't want no shit. He don't want the smoke.
And then you're like, maybe he does.
No, that motherfucker passed me.
No shit.
That motherfucker, and dude, I kind of hit the blinker. I was fucking getting off this exit anyways, bitch. I need gas.
Yeah. No shit, huh?
Yeah, and it was surprising because you know as well as I do, the Hellcats are great cars. I've fucking owned 3 of them. I'm fucking buying the pickup truck fucking version of it. I own the Jeep version of it. Great car, great engine, built well, other than the whole body that's around that engine. But then, man, that one fucking snuck up on me.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
And I mean, he giggled. I swear he was fucking giggling at me as he's fucking passing us.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
If my shit was that fast, I'd have been passing with one finger in the air. Bye, bitch. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to fucking catch him. What the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah, no shit.
Unless he runs out of gas.
Yeah. You know, that motherfucker was quick. But you're right, the Corvette guys. Now, there are a few guys. My Corvette, I wanted to race fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a motherfucker that didn't want to race.
Yeah.
But you're right. You see a Corvette, like the new C8s, they just fucking want to wave at you.
Yeah.
Like we're in a fucking parade.
Yeah.
Bitch, put your top up and go the fuck home. Don't nobody want to see that shit.
No, I know it. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I just don't get it. I mean, I know we're all on the same page that way. Like, I didn't buy it to fucking look at it or to keep it nice to resell. Like, I bought it to fucking enjoy it as much as possible, you know? And I don't get it. I mean, to each their own. Like, that's what you want to do. But it just, it seems odd to me that, like, that's the one fucking car that so many owners, and I know there's people out there that have them that race the shit out of them. I just have never run into one, and I've run into a fuckload of them that just wouldn't fucking do anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's just weird, but...
Maybe they come with like a bitch in their heart, you know? Like you buy it and your balls just totally go to GMAC till it's paid off.
So any of you Corvette owners out there, like, fucking write in the comments something, like, what's the deal? Like,
I can tell you right now, I have a buddy, and he has a YouTube channel. He's going to comment, I'll fucking race you. I'll be down there in November. I'm going to tell you right now, AJ, you don't want the smoke, but we'll gladly give it to you. On that note, there's a Corvette owner that's on YouTube, ZR1, and he races everybody except for fast cars, you know, and I put on there, you know, him and Stradman at Street Speed 717. And I have some of his merch. Great guy. A little too happy on the fucking camera for me. But him and Stradman renting a private airstrip, going to race the Bugatti against the ZL1. Your ZR1 has fucking, I think it has 1,100 horsepower. Okay, cool. So you're going to smoke a Bugatti.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro. Well, why don't you let me bring my 720 out there and show you guys a fast car?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to film it. You don't have to put it on your channel. We'll put it on my channel.
Yeah.
So your 1 million subscribers don't have to see you get your ass whooped by an orange car.
Yeah.
Now, same with Stradman. I'll take my shit out there. And yeah. So any guys that want to comment, we'll gladly ship our car or my car to race.
Yeah.
And
I'll
I'm
tell you
sure
what,
the R8.
I'd be happy to. I'd go there to do it for sure. I'd love to do it, you know? But I mean, to me, win, lose, or fucking draw, like, to me, it's just about seeing what's what and having a good time, you know?
At the end of the day, and I was telling you that we were talking at the car meet the other day about renting a track. I'd love to get an airfield. And one of the guys said, well, we all don't want to be on there with your 720 outrunning us all. What the fuck? I'm not the only car that you're going to race out there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's my fucking track.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it like fucking basketball.
Yeah.
Winner fucking ball in, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, to me, even like with the R8, like knowing, you know, when you and I went to that one meet and you know, you were in yours and I was in mine, like I knew yours was going to walk all over mine. To me, it's still fun to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still fun to see how bad it is or not, you know, like, even if you know you're going to get beat, like it's still fun to race it. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's how I look at it.
That's like yours coming in. You know, I know what yours is going to do compared to mine. And it's not like I'm sitting here like, I ain't never fucking racing him again.
But, I mean, we'll take into account me driving it, right? So that's going to even it out a fair bit.
I'm already looking for new engines, all kinds of shit. I'm over here. I've already messaged JP, hey, man, we ain't going to be able to let Mike beat us too many times. What the fuck we got to do?
Yeah.
I mean, there any jet engines available that we can put strapped on that motherfucker? I'll do it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I wish I could get the E85 tunes just aren't working for the 720s.
Oh, really?
kind of the same reason the meth isn't working. It has something to do with that fuel rail. All of them that get going end up busting the engine.
Yeah.
And from everyone I'm hearing, the engine's anywhere from $90,000 to $140,000, depending how bad the damage is to rebuild.
God damn.
At that point, I'll be like, full sale, 720, might need battery.
Minor.
As is.
Fucking
Minor
leaking
engine work.
fluid everywhere. You know, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. I think it's got lithium ion or something fucking leaking out. But once your payment clears, you can take it and fix it.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn, man.
Yeah. So we're going to be safe, figure out where to go.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else today?
Not today, shit. I mean, if we talk about everything, we're not going to have anything to talk about next time, right?
Exactly. Why are you copying me?
You copied me.
I'm older than you. You took my name. You did all that shit. So on the show, and it's uninfluenced, what we're going to be talking about is basically cars. Did I say that at the beginning? I didn't say that shit at the beginning, did I?
A little bit.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, you can wrap it up with the beginning and come full circle.
Yeah. I'm just edit it and move it.
Nobody says you can't.
Yeah. They're not my dad. But we're basically going to talk guy shit. We're going to talk about all kinds of shit. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, put it in the comments because we want to hear from you. I know I comment a lot, and Mike may comment, Matt may comment. Don't make fun of Matt's shadows in any of his pictures or he'll get mad at you.
Your last name is Shadows?
No, there's a whole other story.
Fucking cool if it was.
Whole other story we'll get into.
That's the fucking lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold. That's not his real name, but his fucking band name is M Shadows. But
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, you thought you were making fun of me. Now you made me cool.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot more than your fucking name to make you cool. This wasn't a fucking church and a prayer. So anyways, guys, tune in, subscribe. We're going to start doing this weekly. And then if you like it, we may go up a little bit more. Sorry if it sucks. And if it didn't suck, fuck off. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Anything?
Yeah, see you later.
Bye, bitch.